guys? This is a Real Estate Podcast, episode 173. Coming at you from an undisclosed location. I'm here with Griffin.
We're here with Trav.
I'm here with Adam.
This week we watched Interstellar.
What, sci-fi in July?
Yeah.
That's what
y'all
we're
remembered this time. I wrote it down because last time when I brought it up, y'all tried to act like you didn't know nothing about it.
Well, we were
Made me look
checking,
stupid at the beginning of the podcast. No.
we were
what that's-
checking to see if you knew.
Yeah. Well,
Because why would you ask us if you knew?
yeah,
you know?
right. But yeah,
So-
Interstellar, man. I'm with you on this. I don't think the last time I watched it was like probably after I got it when it came out. And I got a copy of it, was able to watch it at home and, like in my underwear and like really watch it,
Yeah, all 3 hours of it.
Yeah.
Like
But,
it's I mean, I didn't go to the theaters to see this. I don't think.
I don't think I did either. It was 2014. I don't remember.
Didn't they release a copy of this for your consideration? And didn't we watch it that way? I was thinking that they did.
We saw it
because-
early, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
because it came
'Cause
out
we're
November. the
we're
7th.
members of the Academy.
Yeah, we voted
We
on it.
get
Yeah,
screeners around Oscar time, so
yeah, every year. So if you become a member of our Patreon,
we'll make you members of the Academy too.
Yeah.
Why does this
Yeah.
screener say Justin? He
Yeah.
works for us. Just watch it.
Don't worry about it. But we did watch it early because it did come out November the 7th, and I may have went and watched it for my birthday. I don't fucking remember, man, but because it was 2014, so that was like 6 years ago or some stupid shit. Like time, how does it work? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially in relation to this
Well,
movie.
for them in the movie, this was only like 30 minutes ago. But
Yeah, but for me, it was like 27 years or some
Yeah.
shit. So
23.
yeah, 23. I mean, first of all, I want to talk about signature Nolan style.
Oh
for a
man.
second. So he does this thing where actors don't say, and you see it at the end of a scene, actors won't say a lot,
Yeah.
but they'll do a lot of face acting.
Yeah. Facting.
They'll say like one or two things, and that music starts coming in like really loud,
Yeah. Perfect
And
examples when he sits down to watch the backlog,
hmm
and you can just
Yeah.
see the
Yeah.
pain
the
on
fact,
his face.
Yeah. And I think he started doing that probably around Batman era, because they did it a lot in The Dark Knight. They did it a
Mhm.
lot in The Dark Knight Rises. I don't remember them doing it much, if any, in Memento.
I don't remember, but it's been a while.
Yeah, but it's that distinct Nolan style. They did it a shitload in Inception.
Oh man.
Because when they would come out of the fucking thing and he would run over to that table and spin that top, and somebody would be trying to talk to him, he's like, can't fuck,
Yeah, I'm trying to focus on the dreidel, man.
Yeah. And then, of
Uh-huh.
course, like Dunkirk had like 2
Oh my
sentences of
God.
dialogue. You know what I mean? Most
Hour and a
intense.
half of fucking just quiet.
Yeah, of quiet blowing shit up. And The Prestige, that is the Nolan movie that I've watched probably the least,
Mm-hmm.
but still a great
Is that
film.
the one with the magic trick?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's
And there's-
got
Wolverine?
Wolverine and Batman.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he's got a twin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how they pulled it off. Great movie.
Yeah.
That came out the same time The Illusionist came out.
hmm
There was that whole debate which
Yeah.
one was better.
For some
like 'em.
reason, they both decided to make some kind of movie based around magic.
Yeah. I don't have The Prestige, I don't think, on Blu-ray.
Mm.
Let me go to his director credits here. So I've got I don't have following Memento, Insomnia. Insomnia is a great underrated film.
Mm-hmm.
Dude's performance in that, like both of their performances. You've got Al Pacino, Robin Williams, and I never thought that those two would.
I didn't
In
know
a
that Christopher
series-
Nolan directed that one.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't know he directed that.
yeah. I've got that on Blu-ray, and it's
Back,
great, man.
back before it was reprinted and readily available. I managed to snag a copy of Following on VHS.
Yeah, I don't have that one. I wouldn't mind having it on Blu-ray though. I bet it looks amazing. But he doesn't really have a lot of
Takes
a
his
lot
time,
of
dude.
yeah, a lot of directing credits. He's got, and here's one interesting thing. He wrote the story for Man of Steel. I mean,
Did.
the Man of Steel. You know what I
That's
mean?
right. I remember when we watched that, we came across that.
Yeah. So
And I think he was kind of busy with something. He's working on
yeah,
Interstellar.
yeah,
He was coming off of Batman,
yeah,
going into Interstellar, and he had that story. And I guess he just handed it off to him and was like, I ain't got time to.
yeah.
Could you
Well,
imagine if he directed it?
they wanted Nolan to kind of use his Batman
Mm-hmm.
series as a jumping off point, and he said he didn't want to do that, but he would help.
Yeah.
And then he passed the reins over to Zack Snyder, which we'll get into that later, I'm
Yeah.
sure. So, but I'm excited about Tenet.
Yeah.
But Interstellar, man, like this is the modern day 2001. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, has there been a sci-fi movie on the level of 2001 that's came out since 2001 that would be comparable to it, other than Interstellar? And I can't think of
No,
any.
because you remember when we were talking about Moon, we were talking about some of the things they did in Moon, but this one like went out there.
Yeah,
Moon, you just kind of
you're
chilling
stuck
on
on
the
the
moon.
moon.
So,
Yeah,
but this one, man, they go through a fucking wormhole, dude.
Yeah, and a black hole.
Which was a really cool scene.
Yeah,
when they go into that thing.
Yeah.
Good writing, man.
Really good
Keep the
writing.
story tight. Like it's long. It's like an hour and 40 something. 2 hours and 40 something.
Yeah,
Right.
249.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like it.
No.
Well, they do a good job at mixing science and action
Keep it rolling.
and like urgency.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the thing in the back of your mind.
Well, I saw this thing. Me and Travis watched it recently, and that's what made us kind of want to watch the movie again and do it on the pod where he was talking about the way Nolan, like, it's like a movie in a movie.
Yeah.
Because, their whole mission's to go here and do this. So they get to the planet, they land. All right, the first like enemy is time.
Yeah.
That's the boss here. We're up against time. Every fucking second's a day.
Yeah.
And that's when you can hear that.
Yeah, and I caught it.
Yeah. And that's a day every time you hear it, dude.
That's crazy.
So, and then the wave. So
Oh my
once they go
God.
to that planet, you're like, okay, this shit just got real. Like, what's the next one gonna be like?
Yeah.
Little did they know when they get to the next one, this motherfucker's gonna try to kill them all and steal their damn ride. Like,
Yeah. Grand Theft Auto their ass,
yeah. I was like, whenever they find him, you're like, where's all the potatoes?
Right.
Linked us to the Martian.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that a lot. Like, because them working up and going through the wormhole is its own movie in itself, really, because you kind of get a little backstory of like there's a famine happening, they can't grow anything. The only thing they can grow is they can only grow corn. And from what I could understand, they didn't dive too deep into it, but they've like exhausted a lot of Earth's natural resources to a specific fault, right?
Yeah, ruin the planet.
And there was like some type of war happening. And they didn't really touch much on that because at one point Matthew McConaughey was like, when I was your age, I was fighting, and doing all this shit. So it's like, this is what was happening whenever I was growing up and what I had to grow up in. and it kind of shows you, you know, with each different generation before he leaves Earth, the different struggles of each generation. Even though you don't see the struggles, it's expressed there, you know.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you've got seashells by the seashore,
Oh yeah.
breaking everything down,
Smashing
like
doors.
yeah, like letting you know that like it's fucked up, and if we don't find another planet, something else out there in the
We're all just gonna
universe.
die off.
Yeah.
Now, what he was trying to do was just get us, you know, keep the race going. Like,
Yeah.
he never had a plan to. I mean, how would you get everybody off? You know, it'd be hard to
Yeah.
build a ship and load everybody up, and
It
but
would, man.
so I got, you know, that whole part. It's like I get that,
Yeah.
but you sent this guy up there, and that's not what you didn't tell him that. That's the only reason he went.
Yeah, to save his family,
Yeah.
more or less. Like
What?
to save the species, but to also save his family because he knew that maybe not that generation, but a generation or two later, global extinction. So his bloodline was going to die. Everything was going to die.
Earth.
Yeah. And what's crazy is like he was a pilot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to go to space. He has some kind of crash, something crazy happens. And then years go by. And then all this weird shit starts happening and they show up at NASA. You know, and the government wanted NASA to bomb people and all this other crazy. Like, I want more details about what the fuck was happening. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing it was fight over natural resources.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, what most of the
less
wars are
people
about.
here, then
Yeah,
lasts a little longer.
yeah. But it's crazy that like they didn't know that each other was still alive. And it's like imagine how streamlined this process could have been if they both knew that each other was alive and they could have started on this, you know, years earlier, if not decades earlier. You know what I mean? And he could have been one of the first people that went out there and was like trying to settle and find a planet and helping them out because I mean, he's a pilot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he can think on his feet quick, smart. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? He's got an
He
education,
hacked
and you
the
can
drone
tell. Yeah, with no
with a
problems
fucking
whatsoever.
laptop, no Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it was that laptop from Independence Day with the phone on the
Yeah,
back
he was
of
like,
it.
they were like, we lost it. He's like, no, watch this right here. Came out of the corn.
Yeah,
Easy, laid it. He was flying that bitch with a trackpad.
yeah,
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 right. They're hard enough to fly with a controller.
Yeah,
But he
then
was laying down the foundation, like without even knowing it. He
yeah,
was the one that gave himself the coordinates for the NASA base.
yeah,
He was the one that was, you know, talking the kid and pushing it that way. Like the whole
yeah,
time it was him,
yeah. He was influencing it,
which is pretty cool.
which, yeah, I mean, it really is.
He was the ghost.
Yeah, and then they go through the wormhole, and then they
Touches
have
her
this.
hand. Have a
Yeah,
little abyss moment.
that was really cool, right?
Yeah. So
She's like,
whenever he fucking goes into the thing, it shows him go through there and touch her hand.
yeah,
And I don't think he realized it at that time, but it's like, dude, you're time traveling right now.
yeah,
I like the way they did the time traveling.
I do too.
It was like a little fucking pocket
Yeah,
with, I don't know, how many bookcases were there?
infinite.
Yeah.
Because he said it was like every moment of her life.
Yeah, they couldn't pinpoint it, and that's why he needed to come up and find the right spot.
Yeah. And think on his feet.
But even up to this point in the film, we get like some of the best fucking cinematography in a sci-fi film.
Yeah.
Me and Trav watched a scene a few weeks ago, but whenever Potato Man blows the hatch,
Yeah.
and that shit starts spinning out of control.
Yeah.
And he's like, "All right, we're gonna dock with it." So they got to get up to the same speed. That whole scene's just badass, dude.
It
Them
is.
trying to reach the same speed.
He's like, I want you to co-pilot in case I black out.
Yeah,
It's like,
because
what
they were
the
hitting
fuck?
like Mach 9 or something.
Yeah. And she passed out, did she
Yeah.
not? Like, she blacked out from
You can
him.
tell when she goes out because her arm raises up.
Yeah.
And he's like holding it. He's doing that thing where they squeeze their legs. He goes,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time you get to that scene, it keeps you on edge, man, the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you think that like he blows the hatch, it's spinning out of control. You're like,
they're fucked.
This guy just tried to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Took off with their ship, blew up the hab,
Yeah.
Killed somebody.
Not the first time that he blew up a hab, that's for sure.
Yeah, for real, right? Made off with the spaceship, gonna get into the bigger spaceship and fly off to God knows where, And it's like, then he blows it up.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all this is happening like back to back to back. So for like 30 to 45 minutes in the film, it's just nonstop, like almost holding your breath.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Holy shit.
Yeah. And then him like, we got to get up to the same rotation as it.
Yeah, dude, that was
and just that
crazy.
The wide shot where the fucking score is just thumping along, and it's the shot of you see the planet in the background, and you see it all just a wide shot of him getting to the ship. You see it already spinning like crazy, and then like that whole sequence, man, which is eerily replicated again, or I don't know how you would want to gauge it, because First Man is purportedly based on true events. Like there's a docking sequence that they have to do in that movie as well. That's goddamn like tense as fuck,
Right.
And but yeah, dude, it was just intense.
I like the way it looks when you're seeing it from their point of view and they're looking up at the ship, and then all of a sudden they're like in sync.
Yeah, it's not spinning anymore.
Yeah, they're the same. It's like, oh, that was.
Yeah, this is
Well, a lot of movies you'd watch, man, like back in the day, they'd be like, we got to get up here and dock, and they would just go in and dock with it. It'd be this intense docking scene where something's broken, but we're gonna dock on it. In this one, they went a little, kind of tried to make it as real as possible. No, we gotta get up to speed.
Yeah.
To dock. We can't just fly in and latch on.
Yeah.
Speaking of as real as possible, the wormhole sequence, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's supposedly based on some hard science, and it's supposed to be fairly like an accurate representation of how the models the top scientists were. I think it was I was looking at the notes on the movie earlier. Kip Thorne, his name, a physicist. Like he was an executive producer on the film, so they tried to have a lot of the math be portrayed accurately in the movie. Which that would be frightening as hell to go through a wormhole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the ship was going crazy. Every instrument was beeping. The shots off the ship was going to tear apart.
Just seeing a sphere, and then suddenly that sphere is around you.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Yeah.
It would be. I don't know. It makes me think of like the idea of we really need to put some money into the mental health care of astronauts, especially when there comes a day when we are doing shit like this. I know it's, it's such a far off notion, to think about.
Yeah.
But, if we get to that point, it's like, are humans going to be able to mentally handle doing crazy shit like that,
Well, and then what would throw you, like, it's like, look, here's the wormhole. We're pretty sure you can go through it, but we don't know, because when you go through, we'll never be able to communicate with you.
Yeah.
So, like, this is going to put you way the fuck out there.
We don't know where you're gonna be, how far away. We won't be able to message back and forth. That's the thing that we don't even know if it works, but having a ship that could take it,
Yeah.
to how fast it's gonna go,
We need a DeLorean.
That scene, dude. Whenever they wake up, Matt Damon, and he just grabs him and starts crying.
Oh yeah.
Cause he's like, dude, he's
Yeah.
been. I mean, how real was that shit?
Yeah.
That's the first thing he did when he saw another human. He was like, oh my god, I thought I was just gonna die here.
Yeah. Well, he said it. He didn't put a date to wake up. He was just in his own coffin, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's crazy because, like, right here in pre-production, Dr. Kip Thorne laid down 2 guidelines to strictly follow. Nothing would violate established physical laws, and that all the wild speculations would spring from science and not from the creative mind of the screenwriter. Chris Nolan accepted these terms as long as they did not get in the way of the making of the movie. That did not prevent clashes, though. At one point, Thorne spent 2 weeks talking Nolan out of an idea about traveling faster than light. So it's crazy that they went that extra mile with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
They were like, "Fuck warp."
yeah, it's like, what other film can you like really look at that's like an actual big budget sci-fi film or anything like that? It's like they
They
bring
actually
in
give-
specialists.
Well, those specialists, what this guy does with it being accurate, what he's doing is he's just really emphasizing the depth of how far away all this shit is in space.
Yeah.
Like been with the black holes, like how
Well-
gravity's just fucking weird once you leave the Earth.
You remember in the movie when the guy explained it to him? He's like,
Yeah.
how's this supposed to work? He had that piece of paper and he folded it, put the hole through it. And, well, we
Yeah.
can go in on this side, but we'll come out over here. And then when you open the paper back up, it's really far away.
Yeah. And
it's
that
like,
was cool.
that's it. Yeah. He got it after that. He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And the way that they dumbed some things down, like that scene in particular, he's like, it's a sphere.
Mhm.
And he's like, yeah, it's a sphere. He goes, okay, all of the textbooks and everything show a wormhole in 2-dimensional plane, but in 3 dimensions, what would it be? What's a circle in 3 dimensions? A sphere.
Mhm.
And he goes, yeah, it makes sense. And he's, it's one of those things that you never think about. You've seen the drawings and the diagrams of what a wormhole is technically supposed to look like,
Mhm.
but you never think about it being drawn in 2 dimensions and then seeing it actually realized in 3 dimensions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just little things like that. And they do a good job of explaining things to you like that, where you don't feel dumb, but they don't feel like they're talking down to you. It's like Linus wrote it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
They do a good job at that. Like whenever they go onto the planet and they're like the gravity, and because it's close to,
The black hole,
black hole, time's going to move differently.
which is so fucking weird.
Yeah. Like that in itself
Like,
is,
dude, he went there and came back, and his 10-year-old daughter was like in her 80s.
yeah. Fucking crazy,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's it's almost too much to grasp in one viewing.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost too much because they give you so much science. There's drama happening. There's science is happening. Intense scenes of sabotage are happening. You know what I mean? Like it's all this shit going on, not at one time, but you forget about the science stuff when something crazy happens, and then they bring you right back around to the science shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the way that they made realizations, so it's like they tell you before they go onto this planet that time's going to pass differently.
Mhm.
It's going to feel like a couple hours.
And they
for
were a
you,
little
but-
bit off.
Yeah. Oh
Their
yeah.
time was way off. It was actually longer.
Yeah. And then so they went down there. They came back, and that dude was like, "Holy fucking shit, y'all came back."
Yeah.
You know, and you see his gray. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You see like his
23
wrinkles.
years.
Yeah. And he's like, well, why didn't you leave? Like, what? He's like, I mean, where am I going to go? Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Oh, they asked him why he didn't sleep. He's like, I did
Yeah.
a few times.
Yeah.
But while I was here this close to the black hole, I did research. And he
Yeah.
had already learned some shit when they came back.
Yeah.
Him being scared.
Yeah.
You know, because you're going to have at least one that's going to be like, man, he said this fucking wall and nothing behind it. It's just space, just empty.
Yeah.
And it's like, yep, and he was like, here you go, man. Check out this iPod, you know? And it was crickets and like
And
wind
rain.
blowing and rain. And he's like, he's dealing with it too, man.
Yeah.
He's
Everybody.
just dealing, you know, it's just, another cool thing about watching this movie, I think that this ended up being, I think I only watched it once before, and then I'm like, all right, I saw Interstellar and I moved on. Because I had the pleasure of I know what happens.
Yeah.
So now I can really pay attention.
Yeah.
At the beginning. Because I know the end already.
Right.
You know, that first time you watch it, you're like, okay, what's going on here? We gotta solve this fucking crime. But this time around, it had the whole, oh, dude, that's him in the fucking thing. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
It's him in there. And then you start noticing other shit and other little things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's crazy too how I want to touch on this real quick. I like the way the ships and everything was designed, and I really like the way that they powered the station that they were all staying on. Like they had the smaller ships actually being the propulsion system for it, and they were spinning that bitch with the fucking hydraulic or whatever you want to call it. It's interesting because we'll get to that point eventually. You know what I mean? I don't know how long it's gonna take, but and then him like,
go ahead, man.
Well, there at the end, whenever he's like, all right, we got to get rid of some of the dead weight to get across, to get across the black hole, and he starts dropping. He's like, I'm gonna send the robot in there, and it's gonna report as much data as it can, this, that, and the other. And then like her realization that he was going, yeah. And then like he's doing all this, and then it's a replay of the crash that happened. And he pulls that shit, and then he's just floating in this vast, infinite unknown.
He hits the event horizon.
Yeah.
We can't send anything over it. We can't see over it.
Yeah. Light can't escape it.
Scary.
And then, yeah, right. And then, bam, we're in this library. It gets really trippy, but really interesting for a minute there. You know what I mean?
Well, the first time that happened, it's like, okay, we're going back to 2001. He's a star child now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's got that whole, whoa. But I remember the first time seeing that and being like, what? Like,
yeah.
But they were, and then by sending the robot, and then the robot starts talking to him, and they explain why right there.
Yeah.
So you're not just like, what the fuck? They tell you. Oh, let's tell them.
Yeah.
They did this. Who's they? He's like, it's us.
Yeah. It's the next level of civilization. They upgraded. They leveled up.
But for them to level up, we got to make it off the Earth. Like all this had to happen. Like.
Yeah. And then him using what he had. Like him putting the Morse code in the watch. Fucking genius. You know what I mean? And it's like, at this moment, he did it like what? Not long after he left from Earth. Or, no, it was like right whenever he left from the house. So because she took the watch and threw it, and then she picked it up and put it on the bookcase. And it wasn't long, like it was within a matter of minutes, he started putting the Morse code into it.
And it was when she was older. Well, it was when she went back to the house. I think they were gonna sell it or do something, right? Something happened because they were gonna get. And she went into that room and started looking through boxes, and the watch was in the box.
Yeah,
And
she was taking the family.
Yeah, and she takes it over there and sets it on the thing.
Well, I thought as a kid though.
Would she set it on there?
Yeah, because whenever he said, he said, well, here's a watch. Whenever I get back, we'll compare times because time's gonna move differently for me. And then she threw it, and then he leaves, and he's driving off, and she runs out.
Yeah.
And she, Dad, wait, Dad. Then she comes back in the house and picks the watch up and sets it on the bookcase. And that's the moment that he puts the Morse code into it.
Yeah.
So she had this thing. Let's say she was 13, 14 when he left. And she's 40 now. So she had the answer to everything.
Yeah.
For that many years.
Well, when the older version of her picks it up, and he's looking through the bookshelf at her.
Yeah.
It's stuck on a certain time, and it's just remember it was sitting there clicking.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, okay, she don't even notice it then.
Yeah.
He's straight Morse coded, dude.
And it's crap. Like, how do you Morse code like advanced mathematics? You know what I mean? Because she gets back to the place, she's erasing the swat board. They had about 13 of them lining the walls.
Yeah.
She starts erasing and she's like transcribing it, and it's just fucking nuts, man.
It is nuts.
I mean, what a crazy movie.
Shit gets crazy.
It does. In the best kind of way.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it stays crazy. Like, just everything from the mystery of the beginning of the film, of how things got where it was, to, hey, here's the problem. Like, just the perfect pacing, dude.
Yeah.
Kick-ass sci-fi movie, man.
It was.
Owen did a great job.
Yeah.
Him and his brother. I don't think his brother ever gets enough credit.
No, he's a fucking great writer. And another thing that's crazy about this too is, where was it? Spielberg was attached to direct the movie in 2006 and hired Jonathan Nolan to write the screenplay. Chose other projects instead. In 2012, after Spielberg's departure, Jonathan Nolan suggests the project to his brother Chris. So it's like, Spielberg's really the hero of the whole situation, because if he wasn't the one that was like, hey, let's do this crazy sci-fi film.
Yeah.
And then he from 2006 to 2012, so he had the script, probably worked on it for 6 years.
Had plenty of time.
Yeah, before handing it off to his brother.
Plenty of time. This is and you can tell by the story, it's worked out.
Oh,
they thought of everything.
Yeah.
Well, dude, if you think about it, it follows the same beats as Close Encounters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Close. Yeah, that's probably where
that's the Spielberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine that what's his brother's name? Nathan?
Jonathan.
I would imagine that Jonathan, so he's got it's like we're going kind of Close Encounters meets fucking Stanley Kubrick. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Dude, the robot design, y'all.
Oh, I know, right?
This robot design, and it's because sometimes you'll see them, they look fucking stupid. Like,
Yeah.
We've seen some bad fucking character designs on, like, Doctor Who and shit, some sci-fi movies.
Yeah.
But this fucking robot, dude, the way it worked and the way its shit would bend out, and when it picks her up and starts running with her.
I felt like it was almost a nod to 2001, because when it wasn't moving, it was like just the black obelisk.
Yeah, it looked like that, yeah.
And it was such a realistic design, where it's like, if we get to that technology where we can build robots, you're going to build something familiar, yet something that can do all this different utility stuff.
Something that won't get stuck.
Yeah.
And the way that thing's leg works, it wasn't going to get stuck somewhere, dude.
Hell no.
Nah, it was just either climbing. It had those hooks.
Yeah.
When he fucking come flying up in there and hooked up into the ship when they were trying to leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the way he would lay down between them at the front, and he was like the console screen.
Yeah.
He was part of it, and he was working shit. And
just kind of floating there.
he had a good attitude.
Yeah. He wasn't trying
Probably
to
the best attitude. You know, the robot had a good attitude. It was funny.
Would you rather have one of the robots from Interstellar or the robot from Moon?
I would love to have one of the robots from Interstellar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have to agree.
Because the one in the Moon was like, I'm your friend, but when you die, I'm going to clone you. Okay? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
There'll be another one.
Dude, when he had that conversation with him, he said, I want to turn your humor down. And he said, what's your honesty set at? And when he told him, he's like, all right, I want to leave it there.
Yeah.
Be honest. You know, like if we're in a bad situation, let us know.
Yeah. And he told him straight up, he's like, some humans don't want too much honesty.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that for humans. You know, I gotta leave it at 90% because if I'm too honest, then you'll get discouraged and fucking go suicidal on me, you know? So
yeah.
Like for real though.
Let me tell you some stories about space.
Yeah.
While you're trapped in this fucking can.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me tell you what might happen to your body if you fall into that black hole, you know?
Yeah, the only downside to stuff like that, like whenever we reach, you know, like where we can do something like that, the only downside is we won't see it.
Yeah.
It'll either be too long, you know, we'll be like really old and then they just can't send it back fast, the information. They can't.
Yeah.
But they were receiving messages though.
Yeah.
They would still get them. They just couldn't get anything out because of that black hole was a motherfucker. It was sucking up the messages. You know what I'm saying?
Sucking up messages worse than a jealous ex-girlfriend, am I right?
Which is crazy because the messages from Earth had to go through that wormhole.
Yeah.
And go exactly to the spot they went through, which I guess was there was a route there because when they went in, he was like, "Let it drive."
Yeah.
It knows where it's going.
Yeah.
All right. We need to cut to that ship when they go into the black hole, and it cuts to that commercial. He's like, "Osiris." Yeah. Like when they go in the black hole, and fucking cows sitting in the middle of it.
He says
that's why I drink it. That's why I drive a Lincoln.
Yeah. It's like Osiris has been around before cars, you know.
He's sitting there doing that thing with his fingers.
Yeah. I think he was picking his nose.
He was trying to get the booger off his finger, right?
Yeah.
Trying to scrape it off, like with his thumbnail. What it looked like.
I said this before we got on, Trav. Like, how perfect is McConaughey's everyman? You know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
Like, he's so fucking relatable as just a guy. Like, he's got a little bit of a southern twang to his voice. You know what I mean? He's gonna be a real good astronaut one day.
Unless he's got a Bud Light in his hand, don't say nothing stupid.
Yeah.
I was surprised he didn't wear like hats in the movie.
Yeah, right. Like a trucker hat.
Nah, just a regular like ball, baseball cap, dude. Like trucker hat's too puffy. It stands up.
Yeah.
Kind of look like Donald Trump wearing it, you know.
Okay.
Because all his hats are trucker hats, aren't they? But
we're voting for McConaughey.
Yeah.
Okay?
McConaughey. The scene, man, and it made me laugh when I was watching it. And I never really thought about it before, but like, so they bring him in that building, and he's like, "Where's my daughter?" She's answering questions, and he's like, "If you put my daughter beside me, I'll tell you anything you want to know."
Yeah.
And then they bring him into this room where the kid, she's like, "You got a good kid." You know, and they bring him in the room, and she's like, "Dad!" You know, like she just was sitting there coloring with him or something. Like,
yeah.
So she runs over, and he's like holding her, y'all. He's got his arms around, like looking around everywhere, like thinks that they're gonna kill him. I mean, he's just looking around. He's like, "Look, we don't know nothing. I didn't see nothing," you know.
Yeah.
But then they ask him a question. They say, "How'd you learn about this place?" And he's like, "It just something happened." He didn't even tell them the full story.
No.
because it was just too out there.
Yeah.
He's something just happened and this and that, and fucking Michael Caine like looks over at them, looks back at him, and then Michael Caine and McConaughey just stand up and walk into the next room, and he's showing him the shit, and I'm like, it's just that fast, like.
Yeah.
And it was like he already worked there. He was just like, okay, so what are we doing?
Yeah. Right. What's the play?
But it's like they were like, we got to send him because whatever's happening here, it brought him here.
Yeah.
There is no map of this place. Like nobody knows about it.
Yeah.
But a fucking NASA pilot shows up that's a genius
Yeah.
right before we launch,
Yeah.
putting him on the ship. Y'all think he did the right thing by going? Would you have gone? We know he did the right thing, but
Well, yeah, I probably would. If I
if you
had,
know what I mean, if you're in that situation and it's like,
yeah.
I got to do what now?
Well, because you know that everybody's gonna die. Like you already know that.
Including
Let's say,
you already know you're dead,
yeah. I mean, you know,
but
this
this is everybody under you, like
Yeah.
your kids and your grandkids, and
Yeah.
they're all
So,
gonna get that dust cough.
Yeah.
So
It's
you
a
know,
case where you have an opportunity to know, to see it and know. Like everyone else on Earth is just left with a question. You know, you get to go and actually get as close to an answer as
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah. Well, and to be fair, Michael Caine's agenda wasn't completely terrible.
mm-mm.
Now, in the context of the film, it's fucked up because he didn't tell them what was going on, and he thought that he was coming back.
Mhm.
His daughter thought that she was coming back.
Yeah,
Murph thought that they were coming back eventually. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it was fucked up that there wasn't full disclosure there. But his idea, though, he's like, humanity has to survive one way or another. And the only
Right.
way to ensure that that happens is to land on a planet that is suitable for human life and hatch a bunch of children. Like
Start over.
Yeah, I mean, just do it and just like start over fresh, do what you can do, and like basically be the fucking star mother, if star family if you can or whatever. And
You are Star Child.
yeah, so his agenda wasn't wrong; it just was incorrectly communicated,
hmm
and the fact that it wasn't.
It's such a frightening worst case scenario.
Mhm.
Here's the thing, though.
When
What
the
he
option,
said. Go ahead, man.
when the option is just fuck the planet, just get as many people off
Save
here
the
as
people.
I can do it. Yeah.
Fuck the planet, save the race.
Yeah. Well, you got to think.
Whenever
Or save
Michael
this-
Caine
Yeah.
did he worked out the math problems and had the answer. The
Yeah.
only reason he couldn't, his answer just didn't come back. It was like, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
With the new information that McConaughey sends back, so his little math problem gets him there,
Yeah.
and when McConaughey gets there, he sends it back to Murph
Yeah.
enough to fix it. And like,
Make
this
it
is
work.
what's got to happen,
Yeah.
and save the world.
Yeah. And if you're gonna put people on another planet, who better to teach, to raise this new civilization than a bunch of scientists?
Yeah, especially Matthew
astronauts.
McConaughey.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna show you how to fit. We're gonna gig for some worms today.
Yeah.
Got a
Right.
saw blade and a fucking thing.
Yeah.
Worms start coming out of the ground. How'd you do it?
That shit was so funny though. Whenever, and I mean, it was so sad, but it was so funny where it's like, he's showing him around the little space station at the end.
Mhm.
And he goes, your daughter told us you like farming. And he's like, oh, did she now? And it's just like that. It's such a fucking subtle joke. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's so fucking funny at the same time because it's like she knows he's coming back and she's fucking with him still.
Yeah.
And she's like 90 something years old, And it's just like that whole relationship because like from the time he leaves, he only has contact with her one time.
Mm-hmm.
She goes from being 14 to like 80, 90 years old. They don't have contact again
Yeah.
until she shows up there. It's so fucking nuts, man. That movie, like it. I told Adam earlier, the ending of the movie gets me every fucking time. Like whenever she's laying in the hospital bed and he goes in there and he's like, why did you wait for me? Well, why not all this? And she's like, because my dad promised that he would come back. And it's just like the faith
Mm-hmm.
and the feeling that something's gonna happen. It's just fucking, I don't know. It breaks me down every time. It's beautiful. Yeah, they should have called the movie Perseverance.
And the relationship
Right.
they build in the first half of the movie, that like with him and the kid.
Yeah,
The boys around a little bit, but they're like solving crimes and shit.
Well,
Yeah.
the payoff of all that early development
Yeah.
is so it hits hard with so little at the end, where it's just like like Griffin was saying, where it's just Murph and Cooper talking.
yeah. And she's like, I got kids, I got family. You got to go save her, man.
Here's the final question I have about the movie. Whenever at the end, she's still out there.
Yeah.
Hops on a fucking rocket, dude, or a pretty sweet looking ship. And then you see her where they do the pan over shot where she's on the planet she's on.
Yeah.
She tells her about. Does he find her?
Here's what I think happened. I think that he finds her, they stay there.
And they continue the mission.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, because at this point, everyone in his life that he knew is dead.
Yeah.
She's the only one.
Yeah. And I think that's exactly what I think happened. They're going to stay there. They're going to hatch these kids. They're going to start their own little colony.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, whenever the human race is able to cross over, because think about it, it's a higher. We leveled up at a certain point.
Well,
in order for that to happen, we're going to have to leave the earth.
That's the people they went out and hatched.
Yeah.
We're going to have found some kind of wormhole, some kind of way to get back to us.
Yeah.
Their technology was so advanced.
Yeah.
That they were able to look backwards.
Yeah.
Do you think this movie hampers in any way the possibility of future deep space movies that try to have this sense of seriousness to it? Do you think that the bar that Nolan set with it is almost too high for other film
it's top
directors?
tier. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to come in with a really good script, and some good actors. But what was that movie we watched with Brad Pitt?
Ad Astra.
That could never get anywhere near.
No.
And it tried to do something cool, like going way out there past planets, but it just couldn't deliver at the end like that this one did. And I think that's where it let me down when I watched that one. I expected it to be,
Yeah.
Because I think the first honest attempt was a movie that we watched for the pod, and it was called The Wandering Earth.
Yeah, I remember.
It was like it was like Interstellar mixed with a disaster movie.
Mm.
Yeah.
Never mind how ridiculous that movie's plot was, because I know the whole idea of moving the Earth with rockets is a hell of a lot crazier than going through a wormhole.
Yeah.
But in terms of a serious thing where it's like at its core, it's a family reunification movie.
Let's take our planet with us.
Yeah. Well, and back to your question, Trav. 2001 came out in 1968.
Wow.
Interstellar came out in 2014. It's probably going to be another 40 years before something is able to
be worthy of having that sort of.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure a great movie can be crafted with this sort of style, not necessarily completely ripping off Nolan's filmmaking, but in terms of just the attention to detail, I
It's gonna
guess.
have to be good.
Well,
It's like even if a good, honest effort is released, it's still not. It's gonna be in this movie's shadow, I guess.
yeah. Well, I mean, at their core, they're both sci-fi films, but the message is so much more broad than just a typical sci-fi film. That's where
Yeah.
a lot of sci-fi
Which does
films
get
fall
its.
short.
Which that's also where this movie gets a lot of its criticism.
Well,
I mean, granted, it's a small minority. I would assume, but I've seen enough. When you're reading on films and stuff, you got to look at the the bad and the good, and a lot of the stuff that I saw was the consensus was they were shitting on the message is love, which I was like, I mean, did we watch the same movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but to each their own.
Yeah. Well, but that's what it really comes down to. I mean, is the message love? I mean, it's debatable. All this stuff is. I mean, because it's really about humanity and finding a way to continue on. And the same thing happened in 2001. It's like because you don't think about a cataclysmic event happening until you're faced with it, right? Even in your own personal life, you don't think about these types of events until they're right in your face. So take that idea and just multiply it by infinity, and then you get a world-ending type ordeal. So it raises the stakes that much higher. Then it really shows an exploration of like human nature and like I said before, the perseverance of the human will. Because you got to do what you got to do to continue the species and to survive. And at the end of the day, that's the end game. Since humans walked out of the swamp, we've been survivors.
Well,
You know?
I think I think to add to that, I just had this thought as well while hearing you say that, man. Like, think about it. 2001 was a movie that was like, okay, somewhere in our space exploration, there's going to be a rebirth.
Yeah.
The whole Star Child thing. There's some sort of like humanity's going to have a renewal of sorts. Interstellar takes that same concept and kind of magnifies on the idea that us in the current time are critical in us being able to get to that point.
Yeah.
And how it's just got to line up, and there's only a finite way that this is going to be, able to be pulled off.
Yeah. So many odds. But love finds a way. Life finds a way, you know?
Oh.
Yeah.
See what you did there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I love it though, man. I mean, and this isn't a Nolan movie that I could throw on, not just because of the runtime, because there is a lot of stuff going on. You have to keep a lot of stuff in mind, and it does pull at your heartstrings a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you have to start unpacking this movie like the minute that Michael Caine starts talking his jargon.
Yeah.
You start unpacking this movie from then, and when it goes off, you still got boxes to go, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Great.
I'm still unpacking it. I watched it yesterday.
Yeah, and every time I watch it, I have the same experience. I sit here for days, like drooling, trying. You know what I mean? Like
thinking about the movie.
Yeah,
that was a good movie, dude.
And that's when you know that you've succeeded. And I mean, when's the last time that you've heard anybody say, "Oh, watched Interstellar the other night. How crazy was that shit?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
well, I feel like it's part of the charm of Nolan's movies. I feel like he gives just enough. He gives his films just enough depth that when you're done watching it, there's some food for thought that's given to you.
Yeah.
However you want to pick apart his films, he still manages to get you thinking a little bit.
And it's definitely not for everyone.
Well, like one of the things I took away from for instance, like with The Prestige, one of the things I took away from that film was just the creepiness of the idea that if you are copying yourself, where does the you part of your consciousness? Yeah. Like, do you stay in the old body? Do you go to the new?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's fucking creepy, dude.
Yeah.
And I mean, the man touches a comic. He grabs up a comic property like fucking Batman, and manages to throw some depth into that as well. Which, I mean, removing itself from the complexity of all of Batman's various iterations that's been published, But it's just, I don't know. Good movie.
Yeah. I think it should get the coveted golden reel.
Yeah. The 40-year golden reel.
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan got a hold of, he made a sci-fi movie, a space movie, and just knocked it out of the park. And he's made it hard for that's going to get us better movies though, because people are going to have to step it the fuck up.
Yeah.
And like when you were talking about that, like if you don't like watching movies that'll make you think,
yeah,
you don't want to have to think a little while you're watching one. You probably shouldn't watch this one, because it's not. I just know a large group of people that wouldn't like this movie.
Yeah,
it ain't made for them.
It's not cookie cutter.
Yeah.
And what's weird is like Marina doesn't like watching movies all that much, but she watches this movie every time that I want to watch it. It's like one of her favorite movies. And I'm like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, but at the same time I'm like, well, how? Do you not like
this or that?
Yeah, we can go down a wormhole here. So, but anyway. Coveted golden reel, dude. I think we're giving them out too much, but I think it's fine.
We could give this one our coveted golden reel with the Event Horizon on it.
Okay.
The whole design, it kind of looks like the wormhole. Looks like the black hole thing.
He gets the golden gargantua.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, I like
one
that.
of a kind. There'll never be another.
If you look deep into the sphere, you can actually see the outline of a movie reel in there.
Yeah, I would definitely say this belongs in the hall of you have to watch this movie.
Yeah, for sure.
For the modern movie watcher now, this is absolutely the first step you should take into watching this type of science movie, where it starts off in a sense of realism, and then once they get to the point where science doesn't make sense anymore, they fucking go for it.
Yeah. Yeet. Golden reel, guys. So, y'all want to talk about some movie news real quick?
I've seen this footage.
What footage?
Of
the
Val Kilmer
Batman
standing in this room and this big ass bat. There's footage in there.
Yeah.
It's probably a good thing they didn't use it.
Right. It's on the website here. You can watch the footage.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube. The reason that I dropped this in here is because now that the Snyder Cut is kind of coming back up, and they're talking about the Suicide Squad, director's cut, this, that, and the other. Well, now they're saying that Joel Schumacher's tenure as director of the Batman franchise tends to get boiled down these days to the camp madness of Batman and Robin. His legacy is a bit more complicated than that. Schumacher's first Bat film, Batman Forever, is a lot closer to the Tim Burton movies than some remember. It's got its outsized comic moments, mostly thanks to Jim Carrey's bombastic interpretation of the Riddler, but it rarely gets credit for all the ways it's weird and dark. Apparently, it could have been even weirder and darker. Variety has confirmed a rumor that began circulating since Schumacher's death that the director had initially made a 170-minute cut of Batman Forever that was much darker in nature than the theatrical release. So the version opens up with a sequence involving Two-Face escaping from Arkham Asylum and features extended scenes with the Riddler when he invades the Batcave and uses his signature cane as a weapon. The bulk of this version's runtime focuses on the emotional and psychological issues that led Bruce Wayne to decide to become Batman, including a sequence of Wayne facing down a giant human-sized bat. So it's just interesting that now all this stuff is coming out,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like now I want to watch the long ass Batman Forever film. You know what I mean?
I give it a watch.
Like it was something that I never knew that I wanted, but I mean, if they put it out, like
Yeah.
full on put it out, I
There's
would
an
watch
audience
it
for it.
Oh yeah.
for sure.
I'm in there. Somebody leaked that clip, man, and got it going.
Yeah,
Someone that's on the inside that has access to that footage,
Yeah.
had it. Was like, oh shit, let's put this out there.
yeah.
If we can, drum up some fucking, yeah, dude. Put
I
it
mean,
out.
the bat doesn't look terrible.
No.
I'm not watching it with sound right now,
Yeah, it
but
doesn't have any sound.
but it looks like it's a decent, guy in a suit, giant bat.
Yeah, all up
It
in his
doesn't.
shit. He's like, the day he destroyed the night. That's what I'm gonna put over
Do it, dude.
it.
Just cut scenes of the doors in between it.
Yeah, that's what happens when he
But
takes the acid in the doors.
he sees the giant bat. So, but I was just going to throw that out there. A 3-hour darker cut of Batman Forever.
Hmm.
Because when you think Batman Forever, you think goofy Tommy Lee Jones. You think goofy Jim Carrey running around being
Yeah.
all goofy. You don't think of a darker, weirder version of the film.
And
Which
you think about, didn't they have like nipples?
Yeah, Bat Nipples was in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, next up, we've got Marvel reportedly rebooting The Punisher with John Bernthal. Bernthal, however you pronounce the name. For some reason, Marvel has always found The Punisher to be one of their trickiest characters to adapt in live action. So you've got all different iterations of Frank Castle. Having initially been cast in Daredevil, John Bernthal's take on the troubled military veteran was given his own solo series that ran for 2 seasons before being canceled, along with the rest of Netflix's Marvel lineup. The general consensus is that the Walking Dead star was the best Punisher we'd seen yet by a country mile. So what is different between a city mile and a country mile?
They're the same. Just depends on where you grew up. He grew up in the city, right?
Probably, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
guessing. And the actor himself has made it abundantly clear that he'd love to reprise the role in the future. With the rights set to fall back into the hands of Marvel Studios, there's been constant speculation that Bernthal could be kept on when the Punisher is eventually rebooted again and absorbed into the MCU. And now a new report claims that the studio are indeed keen for him to return for a new show that wouldn't be connected to his previous run. I don't fucking know how to pronounce words. In canon. As per the report from tipster Mikey Sutton, Marvel are considering making an adult-oriented Punisher series based on the War Journal comic book run, and it could be sent to either FX or Hulu to allow the character to retain his violent tendencies, which makes sense as Disney Plus isn't exactly the ideal place for someone like Frank Castle, and fans will likely reject a watered-down version anyway. There's been chatter about either FX.
Hello. Can't hear you guys. Oh, what's happening?
I can hear you as well. I can hear both.
I can hear you now, Travis. Can you hear me, Griffin?
Yeah, can you hear
It
me?
got weird, dude.
Okay.
Could y'all hear each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear you. You were talking, dude, and it just cut out. Stream kept going. Like,
Weird.
anyway.
So Marvel Studio intends to bring back Bernthal. However, it doesn't mean the new series will follow the continuity of the Netflix program, especially when the multiverse can now explain it away. Or it can they will simply not refer to it. They would like other adult-oriented heroes to guest, including Daredevil and Samuel L. Jackson and his foul-mouthed Fury. The show could be called Punisher War Journal, just as the '80s comic book. So I kind of hope that I really like Daredevil. I really like the way that they did Punisher. I didn't watch the Punisher series yet. Like it's in my to watch,
Yeah,
rotation or whatever.
same. I've seen some clips.
Yeah.
Enough to know I want to watch it.
Yeah. And Jessica Jones wasn't terrible for what it was, But if they bring any of them back, I want them to bring Punisher and Daredevil because I loved Charlie Cox's version of Daredevil. I thought that they had some really great stories. So yeah, I mean, if the contract's coming up soon, bring them over. At least something,
He did a good job. He's a
Yeah,
good
he
actor.
did. He is. He did a fucking great job as the Punisher, especially in that Daredevil season 2, man. It was so fucking good. So here we got Star Wars The Bad Batch, an all-new animated series to debut on Disney Plus in 2021. Today, Disney Plus ordered its next animated series from Lucasfilm, Star Wars The Bad Batch. Fresh off the critically acclaimed series finale of Star Wars The Clone Wars, the Disney Plus original series will premiere on the streaming service in 2021. The series follows the elite and experimental clones of the Bad Batch as they find their way in a rapidly changing galaxy in the immediate aftermath of the Clone War. Members of the Bad Batch, a unique squad of clones who vary genetically from their brothers in the Clone Army, each possesses a singular exceptional skill, which makes them extraordinarily effective soldiers and a formidable crew. In the post-Clone War era, they will take on daring mercenary missions as they struggle to stay afloat and find new purpose. So Clone Wars is over, and all of the Star Wars animated stuff has done gangbusters, right? People praise it like crazy. You've got Rebels, you got Clone Wars, you've got all this stuff going on, and everybody loved it. And now, maybe that's why they ended Clone Wars so that they could get it on their streaming service or something. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't watched Rebels or the Clone Wars.
I want to see it all.
Yeah, but at some point, I'll catch up on it. So that's kind of cool, though. It's good to see more Star Wars is coming, even though it is animated. It's more Star Wars, so. All right, so here we got the Batman spinoff series set for HBO Max from Matt Reeves, Terrence Winter. The Batman filmmaker is suiting up for a spinoff series about the Gotham City Police Department that will premiere on HBO Max. So HBO Max is spinning off the Batman as a drama series set in the Gotham City Police Department, the latest in a string of news about the streaming service's upcoming DC Comics series. The upcoming spinoff, which is currently untitled, hails from the Batman director Matt Reeves, Boardwalk Empire creator Terrence Winter, the Batman producer Dylan Clark, and Warner Brothers Television. The series will be set in the same world Reeves is creating for the Batman feature film and will expand on the movie's look at the corruption in Gotham City. The show will mark Reeves' first television project under his recently announced overall deal with the Warner Brothers Television Group. Reeves' sixth and Idaho production company will produce the series, which will be executive produced by Daniel Pipsky and Adam Kassan. Rafi Crone will serve as co-executive producer. The drama will be written by Winters, but additional details such as cast and potential release date are still under wraps. So I mean that's kind of interesting. They kind of did something similar to that with Gotham.
Yeah.
Young, really young Batman, really young Gordon, all this kind of stuff. So it's kind of interesting to see how this is going to play into the whole. I mean, if it's going to be set during the same time period that the film's going to be set in, it's going to be adult Batman. It's going to be villains, the whole nine. You know.
Well, you know, HBO Max is gonna. They've already announced they're gonna do like Green Lantern, Justice League Dark.
Yeah, Aquaman, King of
Yeah.
Atlantis, second season of Doom Patrol.
See, what's cool about it being on HBO? It
They can
can
do,
be rated R.
yeah, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
So it's interesting though, man. It would be kind of a cool thing if they took some Batman stories, whether they're from comics or just newer stories, and showed what happens through the eyes of the police department.
Mm-hmm.
Because you always have Gotham City PD shows up at some point, always shows up.
Yeah.
But you only see things from Commissioner Gordon's point of view, Batman, the key players pretty much. So it'd be an interesting take to see all that stuff play out behind the scenes. Or maybe he's working it in kind of like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where it's going to come out after the movie. It's going to show the fallout of whatever happens in the movie, and it's going to build up to the sequel to the film. I mean, either way, it's going to be interesting,
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, more
This is
Batman.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, more Batman's always good.
Yeah. The
So,
next article, I didn't know this, and I saw it on Twitter, or I saw it on this movie site here. Harrison Ford and Patrick Stewart have the same birthday.
and they're only 2 years apart.
Yeah. I like how the person that did the article was like, "How did I not know this until now?" Like,
Yeah.
never heard it. It's some shit info.
Have they ever been anything together?
I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think they have.
Because they usually end up, either Harrison's gonna get it or Patrick Stewart. Like,
yeah. So, but that's crazy though. Yeah.
I mean, what's up?
Yeah. So I'm looking through a little bit more of the movie news. I don't really see a whole lot of. They're doing a Friday the 13th Blu-ray box set.
All of them?
Yeah, and I want it, dude. It's coming from Scream Factory. I'm gonna drop this in general right here. This picture, and it's gonna be every Friday the 13th movie ever will all be included as part of a stacked new Blu-ray set from Shout Factory. And every Jason Voorhees fan is definitely going to want this. As revealed today by Shout Factory, a new deluxe edition Blu-ray set containing all 12 movies in the series, along with many exclusive new bonus features, will be arriving this fall just in time for Halloween. The set will be released on October the 13th, 2020, but no, that doesn't happen to fall on a Friday this year. According to the official listing, the new set will come with tons of new bonus features in addition to the exclusive new artwork. Some of the special features include new 4K scans of many of the movies, which also include a new 3D version of Friday the 13th Part 3. Several new interviews with major franchise stars will also be included, and there will also be new audio commentaries for A New Beginning, Jason Lives, Jason X, and Jason Goes to Hell. Additionally, the anticipated unrated version of Jason Goes to Hell will also be getting a new scan for the release.
I mean, that is a box set right there.
Yeah, it says here that the box set is $159. And I read somewhere, and I'm scanning here, I don't see it anywhere, but they're producing a limited amount. They're only going to produce 1313.
I would imagine that's a lot of stuff in that.
Yeah.
They each get their own individual cases, which is nice. I wish the Infinity Saga had a similar package.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I would have snatched that when they released up if it had been even just remotely close to this.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're a Friday the 13th fan and you want to get them all on Blu-ray and you want to get some badass packaging, some badass artwork, that is your deal. $158. Or $159. It's really not that bad.
No.
Because you're getting what, 12, 13 movies?
Yeah.
So
I mean, you're getting it
and they're
all, dude.
Blu-rays.
yeah. So
They're gonna look amazing.
and 4K scans of some of them. So if you actually have a 4K player,
Yeah.
I don't know if you do.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's got one yet, but
Yeah.
might be worth getting it.
I mean,
Yeah.
imagine buying every one of those Blu-rays individually. Blu-ray, let's say they throw a $20 tag on it.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Even so, you're still like you're hitting over $200.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a better deal.
Yeah.
Is the
So,
box? Do they come in like a box thing?
Oh yeah. See that box up top where it's split in the middle?
Oh,
See,
yeah.
that art's great.
Yeah. And then you get the actual box set artwork on a poster down here, which is a great fucking poster,
I see
man.
it. It's in general here. That is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Wait, open original. Ooh, look at that box.
Yeah, it looks cool as shit, right? So I wanted to hit on that. I probably won't be able to afford it, but if you have the money, go to Shout Factory and you can pre-order it right now.
If you use promo code real estate,
you don't save a fucking thing.
You get like free shipping or something.
Dude, here is something that I didn't know about. Oh my god. So one of our favorite movies that we watched in the past 6 months.
Oh whoa.
Is getting a black and white edition, a black and white version of the
Lighthouse?
Yes.
Is it?
No.
Oh.
Parasite.
Drop it.
Oh, Parasite.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I'm actually going to take the trailer here where they went in and black and white and did out.
It's going to be amazing.
I'm going to drop it over here in movie trailers. We'll watch that later.
It's going to be amazing.
It says that Parasite has been given a black and white makeover, with the new version set to hit theaters in the UK later this month. Now a new teaser trailer and poster for Bong Joon-ho's Oscar-winning modern masterpiece have been revealed. While it is still the same movie, the black and white edition will offer a fresh perspective on the critically heralded drama. I mean, every movie that they've did. All right, several recent blockbusters have opted to release a black and white version following their initial success in theaters. Mad Max Fury Road and Logan both release alternate editions, stripping away the color in favor of a different look. In this case, it can only serve to add to what has already been a legendarily successful run for Parasite. So Mad Max Fury Road, black and white, fantastic. Logan, better than the original. The black and white version of Logan is better than the original version. So I want to watch the black and white version of Parasite.
Well, whenever they strip, because this movie was colorful.
Yes.
And whenever they strip that away, it forces your eyes to just focus like on what the camera's focused on, like what's going on. You know what I mean? You're not looking at it's like you're not looking at these fucking purple pillows.
Yeah.
On a damn pink couch or something. You know, like.
Yeah.
One time I watched this movie. Somebody told me to watch a movie called Barfly.
Yeah.
So I watched it, and when I hooked up, I put it on a disc, plugged up something. This was a long time ago. I didn't get one of the cables plugged in all the way on the video thing.
Yeah.
So the movie was black and white. Y'all, this movie, it was good. I just sat there, mouth breathing. It's got Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
He plays a barfly, and it's just some shitty shithole bar he's hanging out in. But I watched that movie, and then years later, I was at somebody's house, and it was on TV or something, and I'm like, is this Barfly? And they're like, yeah. And I said, why is it in color? And they said, they didn't release this movie in black and white. My shit was just fucked up when I watched it, but I thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
There's just something. I like a good black and white movie, man.
Yeah.
Just because I want to see it, I don't want to wait too long. I might just take my copy of Parasite and run it through old Sony Vegas, throw a little black and white filter on it.
Yeah.
Dude,
Well,
we can make any movie black and white. Not hard.
I mean, if we run out of movies to watch, that's
We'll just start
definitely
doing black and white.
Yeah, black and white versions of movies.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine watching Fear and Loathing in black and white?
I'm going to.
Because I mean, how that movie's so fucking crazy,
Yeah.
and there's all this crazy shit happening, and it's very colorful in a lot of parts. But if you take all that, if you strip all that away, it's going to be a completely different experience.
I don't know if they're still doing it, but I knew for a while, every director you get a black and white copy of your film.
Yeah.
What about Django or
The Hateful Eight?
Yeah, because they're both westerns, and it just kind of. I mean, black and white westerns were.
Yeah, the shit.
And it's not like there's too much color in there, but there's some shots that were lit a certain way.
Yeah.
And seeing those in black and white would be cool.
I would love to watch Pulp Fiction or Reservoir Dogs in black and white.
Just do the whole shit, dude. I mean, fucking that Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
Why not?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah. I would love if they went in and did Reservoir Dogs in black and white, and they went in and added color to each of their ties to represent
their name.
And that's it. That's all the color you get. It's like fucking Schindler's List, but less fucking depressing.
It's really depressing, dude.
Yeah.
But what about 1917?
Oh my fucking god!
Dude, we got to start a black and white list.
Yeah.
And we can make this happen.
Yeah.
This ain't hard to turn a movie black and white. Like.
Yeah.
I can. What we'll do is we'll do the trailers.
Yeah.
You know, just run the trailer through black and white.
And then put them up.
Yeah, movies that we think should be black and white.
Yeah.
We should release a copy.
Well, it'll be a segment called Modern Classic.
Oh,
Real estate modern classics.
Is Modern Classic a YouTube channel? It is.
You can use that name again though.
Oh really?
Yeah, because you have a different login.
Yeah.
There's more than one. You know my username. I don't want to say it. There's more than one on YouTube.
Right.
But your URL will be a little different. Your login will be different. But you can use that name. You can say I want to use this name because it's like a business or something
Bong Joon-ho said, "I'm extremely happy to present Parasite in black and white and have it play on the big screen. It will be fascinating to see how the viewing experience changes when an identical film is presented in black and white. I watched the black and white version twice now, and at times the film felt more like a fable and gave me the strange sense that I was watching a story from old times. The second time I watched it, the film felt more realistic and sharp, as if I was being cut by a blade. It also further highlighted the actors' performances and seemed to revolve more around the characters. I had many fleeting impressions of this new version, but I do not wish to define them before it is presented. I hope everyone in the audience can compare their own experiences from the color version and find their own path to Parasite in black and white." So he gets it. I mean, look at the
He just said it. Oh, dude.
Yeah. If it wouldn't have been in black and white, would it have been what it was?
I don't know if you would have paid attention to certain things.
No,
because you'd be getting lost in the scene and looking around like, what's because you do that when you watch a movie. I'll take a lay of the land.
Yeah.
Everything. What's going on back there? What is that? Is it a poster? What is that? What's on it?
Imagine The Thing in black and white.
I would love it. I mean, dude, I wish. That needs to be something.
We're gonna get it going.
Or fucking Alien, like the Alien series.
I mean, how much do you think? Just how much do you think it would cost to get the publishing rights to the thing?
You
know what I mean?
Yeah.
and do a limited run of black and white version of something like The Thing, an older film, came out in the 80s.
Yeah.
You go in, you take the 4K copy of it,
Mm.
you put it in black and white.
And
Because
fuck
the
with the
original,
saturation just a little.
yeah, not a lot, but just enough. And then you release a limited edition The Thing black and white version. Or,
Mm-hmm.
call it something cool. And just release like 500 or 1,000 copies.
Yeah.
Enough to make enough profit to do the next film and to pay for the rights of the original. I think that because, all right, hear me out here. So you've got this company called Limited Run Games, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what Limited Run Games does is they take digital games, like indie games that release digital,
Yeah.
and they make either Switch,
Yeah.
PlayStation, whatever. Some of them on NES, like Super Nintendo. They'll
Mhm.
take these games and release them in a physical media.
Yeah.
What could stop you from taking a film? I mean, other than monetary.
Yeah, we're not putting it in the theater.
Yeah.
We're just
And
selling the copies and you get a portion of it.
yeah,
Do you redo the box? The packaging has to, there could be no color on the packaging, right? I mean,
it's got to be completely black and white.
look like,
You know? Yeah.
everything about it.
Mm-hmm.
You could just take the artwork from the movie and just put that on there in black and white. When you
Yeah.
do the saturation, when you do black and white, if you turn the saturation up just a little, all of the really dark colors kind of push up a little bit.
Right.
It pushes up the blacks and stuff like that, and it looks good.
Yeah. I mean, that's something I would pay money for some of these things.
I'm surprised that A24 hasn't done that with some of their films.
No, right. Midsummer in black and white?
Yeah, they do a whole section of it where they just do, because they got some crazy movies.
All right. Subsidiary right. Hold on. A subsidiary right, also called a subright or sublease, is the right to produce or publish a product in different formats based on the original material. Subsidiary rights are common in the publishing and entertainment industries, in which subsidiary rights are granted by the author to an agent, publisher, newspaper, or film studio. The holder of these rights can either exercise these rights on their own or can lease or transfer the rights to others. Subsidiary rights can include the rights to publish different formats of the same work. For example, hardcover, paperback, mass market, audio, and electronic books. To create and publish translations of a work. To publish editions in different countries or regions. To publish an audiobook version. To distribute through book clubs. To adapt a film for television, film, radio, or software. Or to create sequels and spin-off materials. So if you get the subsidiary right, because it's the same film, you're not changing anything, just taking the color out of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look a little bit more into this. I think that there's a market out there.
Oh, dude, people that I mean, and
It's not.
almost every movie you name, I'm like writing it down because I'm like, yeah, that would be nice to.
Yeah.
I think that Reservoir Dogs would be amazing in black and white.
Dude.
The way it's shot, it almost seems like it should have come out in black and white. Like.
Yeah, and the characters already draw you in with the different personalities. But if that's all you're focusing on, it's gonna make those performances fucking pop on screen.
I think some people would probably like movies more if they watched them with no color.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't like that movie. It's like watch it. Have you watched it in black and white?
Yeah.
A little different. I'll be on something, dude.
Yeah, that's copyright real estate. Adam, cut all this out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to delay this episode.
I'm just playing, but no, dude. Like, if you set up a small company and you got the rights to do this, and everybody was cool with it, and you released a limited quantity and let that. I mean, imagine going to a horror film festival where they're showing all these films in black and white.
Yeah.
Like, you would be amazed.
Amazed.
All right. I'm not going to jump down the rabbit hole right now, but I am going to research this a little bit further. Because if you can get the rights to do something like this at a reasonable price, then there's nothing stopping you from doing it. Especially if the studio backs you or the creator. So, anyway. So that's all the movie news I got. We got off on a little bit of a black and white thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, we love black and white movies,
Yeah.
except for, you know,
Except for what?
except for fucking Hard to Be a God.
That movie needed some color.
Yeah, it did. That's the only exception to the rule here, you know.
Except Hard to Be a God.
All right, I'm ready for some trailers, man.
Are you guys ready?
I think Trev DC'd over here.
Oh, he's gone.
He's back.
Sorry about that.
Hip, Trev.
Yeah,
Hip, Trev. Wherever you
my
go, I go.
microphone issues.
Did I know how that is?
I go.
So we've only got a couple of trailers this week. A lot of them are horror films,
Mm-hmm.
little low budget horror films. But you know, I mean, aren't like Evil Dead, the original Evil Dead in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine?
Dude, I'm already rendering the 1917 trailer in black and white. It's happening right. I'm rendering it.
Are you?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna get a gander before the episode's over.
Oh yeah. I'm working on it. Right now it's rendering. As soon as it's finished, I'll slap it on YouTube. I'll take the copyright D, you know.
Yeah.
I think pulling the color out may
Be enough to fight it.
I may just put it on Google. What you call it? I wish I can put it in Signal, dude.
Yeah.
Let me do it on that. Because YouTube's gonna be like, "Rah!" Like,
of course, you know.
you don't own this. Like, yeah, and I'm not trying to make any money off of it. Chill out.
Yeah. Adam has to submit our fucking license once a week for our music,
Yeah, dude.
you know. So
Every time I go on there, they're like, copyright on this song. And it's like, yep, here's the license. Like, come on, man.
yeah.
Hang on, I'm hooking up my trailer station.
I mean, whenever I watched The Mist the first time,
Yeah. This
It
is
was
the
a-
one where he
they're
kills his
trapped in the
family.
grocery. Yeah, they're trapped in the grocery
Ooh.
store. Yeah,
Oh.
and I watched.
Hey, I
it the
watched
first
it in
time.
black and white.
I did too. See, I didn't know there was a black and white version. I think I watched it at Travis's house actually.
I watched it
Because-
whenever Trav had that release that had them both on it.
Yeah.
But I watched the black and white one.
See, I watched the color version originally,
Yeah.
and I because we were over there playing or something, practicing or whatever, and y'all were talking about the mist, and I'm like, well, I watched it and it was okay, and then y'all were both like, well, have you seen the black and white version? I'm like, I didn't know there was a black and white version.
Yeah.
And then I think I either watched it at Trav's house or he let me borrow it.
It
Completely
truly
different.
made the movie better.
Oh my god, it was so much better. Like for me, it just when you can't see like the color of the tentacles and
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah.
better, dude. Because that's where it was like, all right, they look like bubble gum.
Well,
Yeah.
adding to what you guys said earlier, it made it to where you focused on
You
the
really
acting
focused
more.
on it. Yeah.
To be such a character-driven film anyway, because them being stuck in this grocery store with all these different personalities, with this event going on that none of them can explain, and you see all these clashing of these different personalities and character traits, it's fucking cinematic gold.
Yeah.
But it didn't translate in color because you're like, oh, here comes the giant pink tentacle thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of cheesy looking.
A little bit.
I mean, CG looks so much better in black and white anyway.
Yeah,
I mean,
it really smooths it out.
You know, I absolutely agree with you, Griff. You know, when I watched the original color, you know, the original theatrical version of it, I was like, okay, I enjoyed it, but you know, there was a meh factor to it.
Yeah.
And the black and white, I just got bored one day and ended up watching it, and it really, I was like, holy shit, this is so much better.
Yeah. It's nuts how just taking the color out of something
Mm-hmm.
can not only like improve the scene, improve the actors' abilities to perform, but just allows you to connect on a more personal level to what's like Interstellar in black and white.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Man, and and I know some people would probably jump right off the bat with it would just be like 2.5 hours of just darkness.
No.
But it's like, no, man, the way they could play on shadows, the way the shadow threshold would probably play out,
Yeah.
like it would be amazing.
Yeah.
Imagine the wormhole sequence in black and white. I know the whole psychedelic aspect of it's because of the color, but just seeing how that would play out.
It adds an extra layer of the unknown.
Yeah.
Because you don't get those intense colors. You don't get all this shit. You just get black and white and shades of that. So it adds more intensity to like the end of 2001 where he's going through that shit.
Yeah.
If that was in black and white, because it's a vast unknown already,
Mhm.
and then you see that, like they should have went in and took it out specifically in that the last part of the scene where he's going through it and he's seeing all these crazy colors and shapes and all this shit, because that would have added so much more intensity to the scene.
Mhm.
All right, I'm ready for some trailers. I'm so pumped up over here, guys. I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that's what good sci-fi does, man.
Yeah. I didn't watch the first season of this, but I heard it was fucking incredible.
What is it?
The Umbrella Academy.
Trailer didn't look too bad.
Well, it's the guy from fucking My Chemical Romance. He wrote a comic
Oh,
book
that's
and read that.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what his shit was called. Now, okay.
Yeah. Gerard.
It looks.
I've always taken it that Umbrella Academy was just Gerard Way's version of X-Men.
Yeah, it looks like that, but it's kind of got some funny parts.
Yeah.
With comedy sprinkled in here. Hang on, let me leave my comment. Right there above Netflix, where they pinned up something. Real estate's here. Nope, that ain't real estate. That's Adam G. You guys
Adam.
still hear me?
Yeah.
Don't want to have a communication breakdown.
That song's got to play. Commuter. Remember what I said the other night? Don't know if they're having sex or listening to Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. Ah. All right, I'm ready. Y'all ready?
I'm
Yeah.
ready.
3, 2, 1, play.
Got some time travel.
Mm-hmm.
Got Colts.
Oh shit.
Yeah, what's up?
They going after Kennedy? Oh, do they have to maintain the timeline?
Yeah,
Is that what
something
this
like
is going to
that's what it
be?
looks like. They got to make sure stuff happens the right way.
They got to play doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, they got to play doctor, dude. I'm a doctor.
I mean, it still looks interesting.
Yeah, it does.
I wish I'd taken the time to watch the first season so I have a little more context.
This kind of made me want to check it out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got its fair share of action and just oddity.
A little comedy.
Looks like the kind of thing where it's going to be comedic, but then, shit's going to get real.
Mm-hmm. Not bad, huh? Cool.
I kind of want to check the first season out after that.
That's what happened when I saw the Boys trailer, season 2.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to check that out now.
Yeah.
So this movie's happening.
The one and only
Yeah.
Ivan.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Bryan Cranston presents Harambe.
Something like that.
And Angelina Jolie, has her lips gotten bigger since the last time we saw her?
Yeah.
And the water,
He plays
the
the
water's.
monkey.
I mean, has the water gotten deeper?
Are y'all ready?
I don't know.
I'm ready.
I don't know where that was fucking going. Fuck this.
I got it.
All right, yeah, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, play. Check them out, dude.
Way swings in.
Happy
Paint with
music.
some shit. Is that young Bryan Cranston?
Yeah, is this de-aged Cranston? No. Oh, it's gonna be sad as fuck. I can already
yeah.
tell. With tons of heart. They CGI'd the dog.
Look what the monkey did, dude.
Awesome.
This is where Walter went at the end. He faked his death.
Went on to be a showman.
Yeah. The news is in on it. Watching fucking Robin Hood.
We don't need to watch the movie now.
Sam Rockwell. Is he playing the monkey?
Thank you.
He the dog?
Oh, that's Danny DeVito.
Oh. Got some good voices. All
Yeah,
those companies they own.
I know,
Did you
right?
see that? Holy
They're running
shit.
out of
there's like-
room.
I don't think they're legally allowed to buy anymore.
That's fucking great. You're like, look at companies they own.
It's everything, dude. When I saw
Disney.
we gotta mention, y'all saw where Grant passed away, right? From the Mythbusters? Y'all see that?
Yeah.
It's a bummer,
Yeah, I did.
man.
Do you know why?
Mm-mm.
I couldn't see why. Now, here's something. This is CBS All Access, right? They have turned the comments off. That's how scared of comments they are on
Of this-
YouTube.
Oh, they have to.
Yeah, I can't
They-
even leave the comment, dude.
They weren't off when we watched it the other night.
No, they weren't.
So somebody's been on there talking shit.
Let's check it out.
I'm
You
ready.
ready, Trav?
Just a second.
All right.
One Mississippi, you know?
I got the trailer up. You see it at the end?
I do.
I
I'll
rendered it,
put
put it
in
up. They
the queue.
said you can't monetize it, so if there's ads on it, it'll be from the company that owns it. I'm like, that's fine, dude.
Yeah, who
All right, I'm
cares?
ready, guys. Sorry about that.
All right, Star Trek Lower Decks.
Yep.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. Kind of got a little fry going on.
Yeah.
Ugh. With that zombie scream.
Yeah.
Dude, they're the it crowd.
Yeah.
Lower Deck. Looks funny, man.
Good idea.
Uh,
It looks funny, dude. Kind of got a, Futurama, you know,
I don't think that they're
Star
showing us
Trek.
everything they can there. I think it's going to be a little bit more adult.
It seems to, yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if they don't put the black bar on his
On his junk,
wing dangle?
on his weenus. Next, we got Lake of Death.
Oh,
Top trailer, awful version of 2013's Evil Dead. Will be there. We'll be the fucking
ready.
judges
is that
of
what it
that.
says?
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready when y'all are.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. Okay. Kids partying in a cabin.
Yeah.
Something's gonna get him.
Speaking of Shudder, if you haven't watched it, watch Blood Machines, guys. Not y'all, but the listener.
Put the book down and leave. Time to go. Dude. Why don't y'all leave? Hmm. Saw some nipple, dude.
Oh.
It's like one of them are, going crazy or doing all this shit. It's probably her. Look like her standing in the corner. All right. As soon as you see the dog tied up, it's time to leave.
I mean, the trailer doesn't look bad.
No.
I mean, it just looks
I
like
mean,
a foreign
is it
horror
gonna
film.
go? Is it gonna go slasher? Is it gonna go ghost?
Or psychological.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why we
'Cause
got
it
to
seems
watch
like
it.
someone there's doing it.
Yeah.
It's like Clue, man. Who did it?
Who did it?
Surprise. Handy
Ethan
man.
Hawke playing Nikola Tesla.
Yeah, dude. Tesla official. Ethan, I
I'm
love
ready.
Ethan Hawke.
Bro, underrated.
Are y'all ready?
Oh yeah,
Y'all, he's really good. And Training Day
yeah,
with Denzel.
yeah.
Oh, you like to get wet, Jay? 3, 2, 1, play. Training Day's a great fucking movie.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. But he's playing Tesla. Whoa, whoa. That was somebody looking him up on a laptop. Oh shit.
We were just talking about him the other day.
Yeah. This is a lower version of that like current war.
Yeah.
You know, like a kind of a
It's definitely IFC as fuck, but still.
Jim
fucking,
Gaffigan.
yeah, dude, the baby. Packed some pounds on for this role, didn't he? You want a lemonade? I'm talking about. They're gonna show you that he was a freak in the sheets.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I like the music.
So they're using cell phones, laptops. I think it's going to be like documentary-esque.
Yeah, it's somebody that's telling you about him or talking about him.
Yeah.
Maybe talking to the screen. Look at this. Interested.
It looks like a very interesting take on a biopic.
Yep.
I just came alive like the motherfucker in Gerudo Valley when you play the fucking
That music.
Song of Time. He goes, play that funky beat.
Next week out, fucking The Shadow of Violence crime movie.
But does it boogie? Let's find out.
One comment said very bad. Somebody said looks good.
Leave the boogie bombs to us, guys.
Yeah, right.
Ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, play. This is a phase house.
We throw them in the
right.
shadow.
Whenever you're late, we let the dog bark at you, you know?
Yeah.
Some Cockney gangsters, dude.
Yeah.
I like a good gangster movie like this. Ooh. Damn. I like that shot there at the end where they show the blood squirting on the.
On the cross stitch.
Yeah. It
Yeah. I
says
like
like
that.
God's home or something.
Yeah.
That was definitely gonna have to check it out.
Yeah. It looks
Looks
good.
yeah, looks like a tense movie.
There's no getting out. All right, let's see.
Yeah. Ted Lasso. Jason Sudeikis.
What a name.
Yeah. Lasso.
I wonder what kind of comedy this is gonna be. Let's see. Is he playing like a dad or a?
Mm,
Ready when y'all are.
yeah, I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, he's a football coach. mm. Oh. By the end of the movie, they're gonna love him.
Yeah.
She's trying to sabotage the team.
Yeah.
It just seems that way. But in the end, he'll like win or something, or
Yeah.
he's gonna like. Apple
Oh
TV.
no.
I don't remember
I'll,
the name.
I'll check it out. I mean, I like Jason Sudeikis.
I do. Yeah. This is a Christmas movie.
It's a horror movie. Might take place during Christmas. I don't know.
Or
Let
a
it
cold and flu
snow.
commercial.
Yeah.
Possibly.
If it starts with the Ricola.
I mean, it's got to, right?
Are y'all ready?
I'm
Yeah.
ready.
3, 2, 1, play.
Us, Boards, and Blackridge.
I hope you enjoy your
We'll have to mute you, buddy.
Fuck that. I ain't fucking snowboarding down dick.
Mm-mm. They're gonna get lost. Oh, who's this guy?
He's an abductor.
What? Candy cane.
Yeah, right.
It's her ex-boyfriend.
Think so?
I don't know. He's
I
just
mean-
mad about it.
Is that a bomb?
Yeah, it's gonna start a fucking avalanche.
What?
I don't know. I mean, it looks like a goofy little horror film.
I want to watch this movie and actually be cold. I feel like that would make it more entertaining.
Yeah. I'm really excited about this next trailer.
Which one?
Uncle Peckerhead.
The name of every person who ever killed anyone in Call of Duty.
Yeah, I think you're leaving a couple of words out, but you're right.
Y'all ready?
Uncle Peckerhead, dude.
Ready, guys?
I'm ready. Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play.
I'm muting. Give me a second.
Something.
Weird idea for a movie. Somebody wrote that.
So the new bear in this music video looks weird.
Yeah, right.
Uncle Peckerhead.
I
Turn
They
into
call
this.
me Peckerhead.
Bang.
Die.
That needs to be in the meme world.
I love this fucking comment on this next one, Monstrous. You're telling me they're making a Bigfoot movie with a Bigfoot sounding like a lion? Give me a break.
What?
That's what the comments.
Hang on,
So,
man.
I'm gonna thumbs it up, dude.
Give me a break. That's why the people disabled the comments on that other show.
Yeah.
Because the internet, dude, it's brutal.
Give me a break.
It's a powerful thing, man.
Turn into this. Bang.
Didn't expect the internet to turn into this. Bang.
Bang.
I'm ready when y'all are on the next one.
All right, let's see here. You ready, Griffin?
Ready.
3, 2, 1, play. Another horror trailer. All right, where are these chicks up to? Whoa. Jersey Devil. Oh,
Bigfoot, dude.
yeah. He's coming back. He's just fucking with her.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be like a King Kong thing where?
He's fucking the girl.
Well, he takes her because he likes her.
Probably.
Yeah, you fucked you're not like other girls.
Sasquatch finds an imp. Okay.
He's a sass simp. Is he
Simp
simping?
Squatch. He's a
Like
Simp
you said,
Squatch.
That's it. Whenever I was watching it, it reminded me of this freestyle that Mystical did. People have been clipping it, and he said, "I'm colder than a lion with no hair, and if you ever see me fighting a bear in the forest, help the bear."
Okay.
Of course, he said it like Mystical, so he's like, "Help the bear." If you ever see me fighting a bear in the forest, help the bear. All right, let's do the next one.
She dies tomorrow. Michelle
Yeah.
Rodriguez.
You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. Oh, this song. A little awkward.
Yeah.
What the fuck's happening?
I don't know.
The Coherence trailer made more sense.
Yeah, right. I don't.
Can I make a guess?
Yes.
end of the world's happening, and she's like one of probably a very small people that are like, you know how when
You
like
just
there's
feel
earthquakes
something.
and shit, and
Yeah.
creatures start moving out, like
Just feeling
this
instincts
weird
kicking in.
fight or flight's kicking in.
If you ever see her
Oh,
in the forest fighting a bear,
Help the bear.
bet on the bear.
We got a little 30-second clip of it.
Or
Why
something
did they just do
black
the
and
whole
white.
trailer?
Dude, I don't know. It don't make no sense.
But yeah, I'm ready.
All right,
You ready?
ready?
I'm ready. Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. Look at that, dude. Take away all that green. Okay. Do y'all remember whenever they would shoot in their house, like how grimy it looked?
Yeah.
It just looked dirty,
Yeah.
everything. And it kind of had that green, like hue or something to it.
Yeah, that tent.
Yeah. I believe in
Yeah.
the black and white version, you'll feel that griminess even more.
Yeah, I
Because how
know.
grimy, like Hard to Be a God, how grimy was that? And there was no color. It
Yeah, I
felt
know.
nasty the whole time. Like,
Right.
I'm
Ready on this
excited.
next?
yeah, the next one is the. Y'all want to watch it? The trailer with the.
Yes, Step Brothers thing. Yeah, I do want to watch it.
All right, let me get it started and restarted and turned up. All right, y'all ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. Dude, the drum set's the lighthouse.
Yeah, it is.
Whoa. This is funny, dude.
This is amazing.
I would
I
watch
would-
that cut.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
God.
I'm excited about this 1917 black and white cut here.
All right, I made this while we were podcasting. So hopefully it's processed by now. Yeah, it's processed. But yeah, let's pull it up. 1080p, fellas.
All right.
Y'all
I've
ready?
got it
All right,
maxed
here we
out.
go. 3, 2, 1, play. Dude, that part of the movie
Yeah,
is gonna be so intense.
yeah.
With no color.
It already looks better.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Look how amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
It looks so much better, man.
It looks perfect.
It does. Look at that, dude. Almost like it was made to be in black and white.
Yeah.
See, that's gonna pop more.
Yeah.
Old American. Oh wait.
Oh, man. Dude.
I also downloaded a 4K copy of the scene where the dude gets murdered, the brother.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna convert that and throw it up, but I just did that right now. But yeah.
That's gonna that movie's.
It's gonna be like watching it for the first time again.
Yes, absolutely,
It will be.
dude.
I don't know about you guys, but when I was watching at that time, it made my eyes focus on, like, I was looking at different places. Like,
Yeah.
like that scene where it pans around, all those guys are sitting around. My eyes went straight to that one dude. It was like in the center. Never looked at his face before. I was looking for my list. Was the next one First Man?
I think so.
It was, right? I can't find my list, but I think that was.
So, which of you two have seen this movie?
I've seen it.
I haven't.
I'm excited to watch it again.
Just
that
take
would be
that
good
movie in,
black and white.
dude.
But it is worth watching in color the first time.
Dude, there's a sequence
It's so
where
intense.
from the moment he starts to load up for launch, like once he gets out there with the ship and he's going up the escalator to go get into the damn thing, you know, or the elevator, not escalator, what the fuck. From that point, like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah, on here I have First Man, Sunshine.
Pay attention to that fucking cinematography, man.
Well, you'll be sucked in.
Right.
First 5-10 minutes of movie, it just pulls you right in. You're in. You don't want nobody fucking with you until it goes off.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, shit's getting real.
I'm excited.
I'm a big fan of Apollo 13 because of the way it's shot. You know, the whole. I mean, you just those movies where they're in space and they're trying to connect to something, and it's like, if we fuck up.
Yeah.
And this one like took it to the next level.
I don't get to say this often because normally it's reserved for you or Griff, but I actually have this movie on Blu-ray, so I will be watching that copy.
Damn. Yeah, we're gonna watch First Man. Episode fucking 173. Signing
I'm ready
off.
for it.
Y'all got anything?
Yeah. No.
No.
Keep washing your fucking hands, please.
Wear a mask sometimes.
For the love of God. Yeah.